Hello, everyone. Deanna Allbrittin here, evening anchor for 8 News. And
what's going on? It's Eric Phillips. Glad to see you. You don't normally see us like this in these boxes, but
nor at this time.
That's right. It is a different time, isn't it?
I've pulled Eric in a little bit early. I've squeezed his day so that we can do this really great podcast today in our WRIC Now studio for what Eric just revealed is our favorite event of the year, the Walk to End Alzheimer's. So we are very excited to be joined today by Madison Wilkins from the Alzheimer's Association and of Greater Richmond.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
And we are really excited to have you here, Madison. Thanks.
We are,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we did this last year, and I think it was myself, you, and who else was here? Was it
Delaney, I think, right?
maybe Delaney? Yes.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. So now we are getting the evening forces all together for tonight's episode. Now, Eric has already been promoting the walk on Showcase, our new lifestyle show that aired, last week, Eric?
Yep, it aired last week.
Yeah, talking about his personal story, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But first, let's just talk about what the walk is for the folks who are tuning in. What do they need to know about the walk and why they should walk?
Sure. So our Walk to End Alzheimer's is our largest nonprofit funder and the largest nonprofit event for Alzheimer's and all other forms of dementia. It is the front door to the Alzheimer's Association, and it is funding critical research until we have a cure. And we have programs and services at no cost, including our 24/7 helpline that's staffed with somebody who has a master's level degree or higher that can help you when you need help.
And that's just not for, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but that's not just for just the medical needs. I know that my mom called that helpline to get connected with resources for tracking devices for my aunt, and they were so helpful, even though my mom was out of state. The chapter in her state connected her with the chapter in the Birmingham area, super, super helpful. So I just wanted to point out how great a resource they are.
And you can use it. They can schedule care coordination for families as well. So my family was Virginia, New Hampshire, and Florida. And so we needed, how do we take care of grandma who is in New Hampshire? So really great resource to be able to bring people in different states together to make those care plans, because it is a hard time, and the association's here for you during that. And we're here. We've actually been going into companies more too to spread the word, which has been newer for us in the past 3-4 years. Because there's so much you can do to prevent it, and that's coming out of the research that we're funding. So we can get back into that type of stuff of who we are and what we do. But the walk itself in Richmond, we're probably expecting about 3,000 people.
Wow.
We were number 14 in the country last year.
Out of how many, just to be clear?
600 walks nationwide.
600 walks nationwide.
Top 15.
And we were top 15.
That is just phenomenal.
RBA, we can do this because we're aiming for higher this year.
Yeah, always higher, right? We're always aiming to be even better, because that's great. Top 15 is great. I mean, if you think about, Richmond is not the 15th biggest city in the nation, right? That is really, really incredible.
And I've been charging our executive leadership team, who is chaired by the CEO of Genworth this year, Tom McInerney, and he'll kind of come out with you all to host for a little bit on Walk Day. So another reason of why to go is you're looking at our phenomenal hosts.
Stop it.
Thank you so much.
Stop it.
Go on. And on.
We do get asked, are they hosting again? And we say yes. So thank
that's
you all.
sweet.
But yes, so Tom will be up there, as well as our 2026 chair, who is the CEO of Care Scout Insurance, Lynn White. So really excited to kind of have some other interactive pieces. We have different sponsors. So we have a kid zone, a pet zone, so well-behaved dogs on leashes, okay. If they are not friendly, please leave them at home. Make sure they're not reactive.
If your dog doesn't like other dogs or people, don't
Leave
bring them
them
to
at
the walk.
home.
She's trying to be
Yes.
nice, folks.
Right.
But
Let's be clear.
we're trying to raise money. We're not trying to cost the Alzheimer's Association money, right? They've raised a lot of money already.
Yeah.
We want to keep it that way.
So super kid friendly. We have, if people who raise $500, we call them our champions. Our champions raise about 30% of our revenue. So we really like to make walk special for them. We are going to have, as you saw, you had
can bring that
our
back.
site up. Our goal is $1.1 million.
83% of the way there.
Oh, that's grown. Last time I checked, it was 82. So I love the growth. But all of that to say is our champions are super special. So we do have a Cameo coffee truck. So our champions who raise $500 or more will get a free coffee on walk day, and it does include a latte. They'll come and pick up their medal. So if you look at that top right, that gentleman is wearing what's called a champion medal. And then we also have clear bags for our champions. So branded walk logo clear bags that are the crossbodies for those who raise 500 plus. We thought it would lean into being at City Stadium, who has the clear bag policy during stadium days. It is not that way on walk day. You can have a bag, backpack, whatever. Less secure. I mean, still secure.
Yeah.
Still safe.
Still secure.
Yeah.
Less restrictive.
Correct.
Because we've got
It
to
is
walk
not a
somewhere,
game.
right?
Correct.
Like we've got to leave. So,
So yes, so not as strict as that day, but really exciting. I'm trying to think. We have a team meetup zone, so you can go get your glitter on. We have a spot for you to take photos and have one of those like photo strips that you used to get back at the mall.
speaking of teams and team meetups, we're 70% of the way there on our 8 News WRIC team. We will be, we won't quite be individual champions, but you know, we're
whole
getting
team
there.
will be
Yes, and we've been asking. This is the second year we're asking viewers to join our
That's
team.
so fun. I
Last
love
year we had a couple of folks join, but it was kind of this late effort.
Yes.
We want to see people join our team. We wanted to make it so like if people wanted to come out and walk, and there are viewers, but they didn't have other people to walk with, they should join our team, join the 8 News family, and walk with us.
Yes.
And so that's still an option for people today that you can find on our website. We have our like Walk to End Alzheimer's landing page that people can check out, and it has all of the appropriate links to the chapters, walk page, but also our team page as well. So.
And I would say, I'd be remiss to say, I should say, wow, how many times can I say that?
You're going to say it.
Oh my goodness. But anyways, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about our Promise Garden. Our association and the work that we do is driven by those who join us. We are so connected to our mission in everything that we do. We are constantly thinking of all of our constituents, all of our walkers, and our work that we do every day is because of you and for you. So our Promise Garden is a thing of flowers, right? So each person who comes into Walk Day will pick up one that is their connection to their cause. There's yellow if you're a caregiver, orange if you're just here to see a world without Alzheimer's. You want to change that trajectory, but you don't have that personal connection. We have blue for those living with the disease, and we actually have somebody who's on one of the new FDA approved treatments speaking on Walk Day. So what's crazy is when I started 9 years ago, we didn't have anybody able to say that they are on treatment for Alzheimer's and that it's working and it's approved by the FDA. If they did, it was a clinical trial. So it's really exciting to be at this point of this era of treatment.
Right.
And then the last color is our purple flower. It's for those far too many of us carrying those for our loved ones that we've lost to Alzheimer's or another form of dementia.
Yeah, and you see this woman here carrying her purple flower next to someone carrying an orange flower. Sometimes a lot of people are carrying multiple flowers, as you see with the woman who's walking through there. So,
can you talk to us a little bit about what you started to mention? Because I think it's important
Yeah.
when you talk about how you can prevent it. I heard you mention that. And that's something new I haven't really heard talked about too much.
Yeah.
So how do you actually go about, what are ways of preventing Alzheimer's?
Yeah, so the Alzheimer's Association has what's called the 10 Ways to Love Your Brain. And a lot of that's going to be updated even more. You can look at the Alzheimer's Association US Pointer Study. We have an entire landing page. It was in a study that the Alzheimer's Association did based off of the finger study in, oh my goodness, not going to say the country, but based off of the finger study, because we needed a more diverse and actual, what was our country makeup to say that this is going to work. So they were targeting lifestyle factors. So sleep, eating,
I found the graphic.
exercise. What is it that can actually lower your risk? And so the U.S. Pointer study actually talks about the recipe of what you can do to lower your risk. And the biggest thing that you can do is exercise.
So we can see this here I pulled up the 10 Ways to Love Your Brain from the Alzheimer's Association website, and you can see that break a sweat section right there.
And then we have diet is one of the other most important things to really take a look at, making sure that hypertension is in check. So Mediterranean diet and DASH diet are two of the most recommended, which then led the association to call something called the MIND diet, which is a mix between the two. So definitely take a look at the U.S. Pointer study from the Alzheimer's Association. There's a great one-pager on there that talks about how you can lower your risk, because it's about 45% of Alzheimer's and dementias can be prevented.
Very
Wow,
interesting.
that is a large proportion.
Right. What strikes me is that wheel that we just saw, and talking about exercise and diet and all of those other factors that were there. Those are all things that are so connected to other just healthy lifestyles in general.
Correct.
So it's interesting to see that what's healthy in general is also helpful and warding off this particular disease. I mean, you're talking about living a healthy lifestyle, basically.
Yeah.
And reducing your stress, which again, you talked about hypertension. When we talk about risk factors for heart disease and just like all of these other diseases that Eric's talking about, like really helping improve your brain health is improving your overall health. It's all connected.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
and you think about all of the great work that we've seen come out of other organizations, right? There's so many treatments. Some people are even using the word cure in cancer, right?
Right.
The time is now for Alzheimer's, right? We're finally getting treatments. We're finally getting steps in the right direction where there is tangible hope, and we're talking about prevention, we're talking about risk reduction, and we're talking about treatment. So what does that look like moving forward? Because it's going to be a puzzle piece, right? It's going to take all of it together to really find Alzheimer's first survivors. So that brings us to that white flower from our promise garden, is we don't have any yet. But hopefully, I had a volunteer say to me the other day, I'm really tired of carrying this purple flower. Gosh, get like teary-eyed. She's been carrying it for, I think, almost 15 years now. Could be wrong there. She might have had some yellow in that time too. But she's like, I really want to carry that white flower.
yeah.
And that just, when you think about the work that we do every day, we do it for her. We do it for us. I know, Eric, you've shared about your story. I have my own. Deanna, we've talked about your story in the past. It's time to carry the white.
Right.
Yeah. And it makes so much sense that you would be emotional. So many of us have personal stories connected with Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia, right? And so I think there are a lot of us that wish there was something different, right? And we don't have that right now. I think that I have encountered people, especially when the FDA approval came through, that were still skeptical, right? But years ago, we would have never thought that there might even be a single case of a glioblastoma survivor years and years on, right? Where we see a whole glioblastoma vanish, right? And now we are starting to see the first few people that's happening with. People thought that was impossible, right? Just 5 years ago. So the impossible can become possible with medical advancements. And so you just have to keep raising the money, right? To be able to do the research.
And we keep making monumental donations. Like last year, we made $100 million in investments, and this year it was $110 million in research investments from the association. So that was how much we added in. We have over $400 million annually in research and over 1,000 studies internationally. So, I mean, the work is happening, and we're doing our own research. So it's exciting, but we're not gone. And that those 10 healthy habits that you showed, that's a program that we actually offer. So we can either come into a faith-based organization, a company. I mean, if y'all wanted to do one for your folks, we could happily come over do it here for WRIC and talk about 10 ways to love your brain and get excited for being a part of the team. So that's something we do. We love doing our programs and getting the community educated on ways we can love our brain.
I love that. I really, really love that. And it's just, I think it's really great for people to see the kind of tangible results that come from not just walking and raising awareness, but donating that money, getting friends and family to donate money. You know, it can be hard sometimes to ask other people for money. I know I struggle with it, but then when you can see, okay, but every dollar is, every dollar is going towards, you know, research or programs that help people, the helpline. Like when you can really hear these stories of how impactful it is, I think it makes it easier to contribute that money. I know you were getting emotional before, so it's fine if you don't want to share, but do you mind sharing a little bit about your story?
Yeah. So I started working at the Alzheimer's Association in 2017 at the Massachusetts, New Hampshire chapter. I started as an associate, second job out of college, really just excited to get into the world of development. I was a part of a different organization and knew that I wanted to go into fundraising. It was a way of kind of being in the community and public health, as well as raising awareness for something that I cared about. So I knew that that was my career path. Got into the association in 2017 as an associate. Then I started as a specialist. Then I moved to Richmond and I became a manager, and I started doing our walk down in Gloucester, because we do have walks statewide in case you can't make it to Richmond ever. We have like 12 plus walks in the state of Virginia. So
I think I was clicking earlier on the like find your walk to bring us to the Richmond page. You could see how many other walks were up there when I was looking for ours. So
I became a manager, then I became a director, and now I'm the senior director of development for the Greater Richmond chapter, and I'm helping also streamline some fundraising efforts in our Central, Western, and Southeastern Virginia chapter. So I'm doing a lot, right? I'm progressing. I'm growing who I am as a professional. My grandmother got diagnosed about 8 months into my career at the association. She hid that from a lot of folks. And then we moved her into a senior living into 2021. So that was when I moved to Richmond as well. And as I'm progressing, my grandmother's disease is progressing. She is regressing. My grandma was, oh my goodness, one of the most independent women ever to know. Irish Catholic from Massachusetts. For anybody, you know. Really, truly. But she was a big reason of who I am and why I am the way I am. For better, for worse, you know. But she was super independent, and watching somebody live on their own for X amount of years, an amazing cook, lose that ability and really regress. I mean, she was always the person you go to when somebody was new to the family. A hug from Rita was something that made you feel like you made it. And she was always kind of the life of the party. And so when she sat in the corner in parties, you know something was different. So we ended up moving her into a senior living and then into memory care as the journey progressed. And unfortunately, but also fortunate, right? It's one of those bittersweet, if you know the long goodbye, it's kind of a blessing when they've finally passed. But she passed away this past January, actually when I was at the Alzheimer's Association Volunteer Summit. So I was surrounded with folks who also want to end this disease while we lost her to this journey. But again, it was one of those bittersweet of she no longer had to be suffering because her reality wasn't here anymore. So I walk and I work for my grandma.
Yeah. I know that it's tough to hear what, the other side of it looks like, especially my family's still in it, right? Like, my brother just got married a month ago. My aunt wasn't able to be there, right? And that was very painful for a lot of people involved. Like some family members were still trying to figure out a way to make it work, right? And it was just not realistic. It's not worth it. The last time she did travel somewhere, it was not a good situation, right? But she was like the aunt who came up to take care of us during the summers, right? Like my brother never dreamed of his wedding day without her there. I would have never dreamed of mine without her there. And it's so hard to talk about when someone's still alive, right? Because that pain was almost as palpable as my brother's friend who was not there with us because he had passed, right? She's here, but she's not here in that way. And so I know that we were in kind of earlier stages when I first got here and was walking for the first time, I guess 5 walks ago now. Now to see how much her disease has progressed and how much regression there's been when you're having to remind someone to eat. And they haven't eaten all day. That is tough. And the caregiving side of that, my aunt, her sister, who's the caregiver, it is a strain. It is stressful, especially when you start getting to people wandering, and being really concerned for their safety, being out in places where you don't know where they are. They don't know where they are, and so. I think that has really motivated me personally to make sure that our station is even more involved, that we're getting the word out even better than we have before, that we're telling these stories, that even beyond walk day when the money's still being raised, that we're trying to get these stories out there. It's just so important.
It's when we talk about what the Alzheimer's Association does, you can't say enough about what the organization does for those who are caregivers, because as much as it's about the research and as much as it's about those who have the disease itself, those who don't have the disease but are caring for those who do, it is a strain. It's tough. It's emotionally difficult. It's physically difficult. It's just difficult altogether. And so I am always heartened to hear each year the resources and what the Alzheimer's Association does specifically for that group. I mean, we love those and want to care for those with the disease, but man, the ones that are caring for those with the disease, they need a lot of love as well. My story is, it's my father who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and he had been becoming sicker and sicker with other ailments. And so it was just sort of a
soup.
And a running back and forth between here and I'm from New Jersey, so I'm kind of running up and down the road, trying to help from afar type thing, which is already a dynamic in and of itself. But so I'm on the phone with the doctors one day, and we're going over the prognosis, and basically it was at the point at where a decision was going to be made about whether he was going to continue on in treatment or whether he was just going to go into hospice. And so he's ticking through the list of ailments my dad had, and he says, of course, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and I was like, wait, say that again? I didn't know anything about him being diagnosed with Alzheimer's. That was news to me, and I asked him to repeat it, and he did. And I said, well, when was he diagnosed? And he told me when he was. It was just shocking because I knew about everything else, but my dad was kind of secretive. He didn't exactly tell everything, and sometimes he would ask my mom not to, and that generation can be secretive. And to their own detriment, quite frankly, because then you don't know exactly what's going on and when. And so so he passed away, not from Alzheimer's, but I learned not long before he passed away that he had Alzheimer's. But then I started thinking about all of the symptoms that he exhibited and the memory loss that he would have from time to time, which I just brushed off to having memory loss. I mean, I forget things from time to time. And so I thought, that's what it was.
And especially as folks get older.
Exactly. It's just you assume that, it's not unusual to forget things as you get older. But then I started thinking about, and then hearing you, talk about how your grandmother had become kind of withdrawn and very quiet, that type of thing. We had gone through a spell of that, but then he came out of it. So it was like, okay, so he's back to his old self. And I mean, he was in it for a while, but then he came out and he never kind of went back to that. So I don't know, it's just the mental playing through the Rolodex of what happened and trying to sort of fit the pieces together and see, what may have been that versus something else. You really don't know, but if there's a blessing in it, it's that we never got to, I guess what you would say is the worst of the disease. Because he was still very cognizant of those around him and still talking, up until the very end. And So from that aspect, I definitely say that we were blessed. But it is just for myself and for Deanna and for my son who has come every year with us.
It's so tough. And like honestly, this is why like the walk is this like cheerful celebration, but also so emotional for everyone every year, you know?
We enjoyed, I say this is my favorite event. It was my favorite event before.
Yeah.
Before I even knew any of this.
Right.
But now it means a lot more.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. Also, sorry
Yeah.
for touching you without asking.
you're
I want to
fine.
make sure
Yeah.
you're
Fine.
okay.
Yeah. No. And I think it is so hard to share sometimes, but it's very powerful to share because so many other people are going through the same thing. Right. And so, but I put on my waterproof mascara for a reason going into this, right? I know that this
I do
is
have two
tough.
things for you all too, because you
Yeah.
brought up a lot that you shared, and thank you. One is November's Alzheimer's Caregiver Awareness Month. So if you know someone, please direct them to the helpline 800-272-3900 is that number. Super helpful, free. Everything we do is at no cost because of events like the walk. So if you know a caregiver, please send them our way.
And we'll
as
make
well
sure
as
that
honor
information
them.
gets up online too. So in case somebody missed that
Yeah.
information, that phone number is available.
And then you kind of shared, and I shared of two of the warning signs. So as we get into the holiday season, we have another program and another resource called the 10 Warning Signs. And if you look at them, a lot of us will say, wow, I do all of those. But it's how frequently are you doing them? And what's that like? And how often is it, right? One of them is misplacing items. Well, can I walk back and retrace where I put that? And that was one thing I noticed with my grandma at her 80th birthday is her bag, her purse went missing, and she couldn't remember that it was in her car. So everybody had to go searching on this wild goose hunt for her purse that was just in her car, but she thought she had it in XYZ spot, and she didn't. So those 10 warning signs, it's fantastic. Again, it's depending on how frequent they are, and if you are worried and you're spending time with somebody, use that helpline, call them. We also have an app called ALZ Journey. So if you are millennial and not really one to pick up the phone, the app exists. And there's also a chat feature on our website too. So we're available in all of the different ways that you want to engage and need to engage. I do have to say there is something about that person-to-person interaction when you need it. So if that's not you and you're like, I need that app, ALZ Journey app on Apple, Google, all of the stores, but you can download it and it's there for you. And again, everything we do is fueled by the funds we raised from the walk. So we're way more than just a fundraising organization. We are here every single day.
And I would say too that if you don't have money to donate and and for some reason you don't join a team, still come out.
Yeah.
You still come out and walk. I mean, the energy that's there on the day of, and just the sense of camaraderie and community and support that's there, your presence will be felt even if you feel like, well, I don't have anything to give. Your presence is
the
a
gift.
presence.
Yeah.
You know?
And you can register on site, right?
Oh, yeah. We'll have QR codes. We'll have greeters. We have paper registration if you're somebody who is, I'm not touching the internet. You are able to do that as well. And it is, again, it's a really lovely day, and it is the Richmond one specifically is my favorite day of the year. It is my Christmas.
Yeah.
I finally get to shut down afterwards. But I mean, we work year round. Our walk site opens like January 2nd. So we start in January and we end December 30, and it's no joke, but we do it for all of the families who need it, and we do it for the hope of that white flower. I mean, it's so exciting. I think I'd be remiss to say, too, is one of those FDA approved treatments is also now in maintenance phase that you can get a shot. So it was prior an infusion that you would have to get, I believe, monthly or biweekly. There's two different ones. One you have to get monthly, one you have to get biweekly, and it's a 2 or 3 hour infusion. And if you know somebody living with dementia, that's not easy. So the fact that the maintenance stage you can get a shot, that's incredible. And a lot of these folks, more than 50%, have shown no increase, like
no worsening of symptoms.
Thank you. Yes. So really, really great results that we're seeing from the treatments available. So more and more hope.
That's really, really great. And so a lot to celebrate
Yes.
this year, even as we mourn the lives of those forever altered by Alzheimer's. So many things to look forward to in the future. You saw those pictures. You can see the atmosphere, the celebratory environment, like Eric said. So just coming out and walking with all of us is so great. I don't think that you can come one year and not come another. Like it's going to be something that is on your calendar every year. Not to scare you, but you're going to be committed because it's just that great of an event. Will we have Jazzercise again this year?
We do have Jazzercise.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Eric, do we have a surprise guest too?
Yeah, we have somebody else helping us celebrate this year. Tell us a
surprise.
little more. Breaking news.
Well, we will have a DJ along the route this year. We had one along the route last year, but this DJ I happen to know pretty well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I know a little something about him. He's bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. He's my son my son Evan has come to the walk every year since I've been here. So he's been to the last 4. This will be his 5th one. But this year he will be DJing the walk, so he'll be helping folks sort of get through it on some exciting tunes along the way to keep their heart rates up and kind of keep them moving. His name is DJ EJ. That's his stage name. Yes. And so he is so excited. He's been to the walk many times just as a participant, and this year he gets to participate in a different way.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm so
he's really
excited for
happy.
him.
I mean, this kid has eagerly gotten up every single year since he was 11 years old for the walk. Like, has asked you proactively about the walk every single year, which is
And
just
Dee knows
incredible.
because she's been there every year. He's
Every
been
year.
there. And
The first year he was like a kid. Like he's
my goodness.
picking up the petals off the ground and tossing them in the
Yep.
air
Oh my
and picking
gosh.
them up again. And we're talking about the instrument he's playing in band
Yep.
and to watch so many people there have watched him grow up because they've seen him every single year.
fun.
Now he's old enough to drive almost.
He
And
is driving.
Yes, he is driving. Not just
is
driving you
driving.
crazy, driving a car.
Right.
And is now the route DJ. I mean,
So fun.
It's so fun. It's so cool. We're very excited about this year. He's also been one year we didn't have a photographer who was able to come out, so he was a station photographer.
Yes.
So
in
he's
the
done
background.
all the
Oh my
jobs,
gosh.
right? Now route DJ. You can add it to the
Amazing.
resume.
Yeah.
DJ EJ.
He was in the promo last year too, walking along
That's
with us.
right.
'cause he was-
That's
he
right.
was walking there with us.
I
So
love it. I love it.
So very excited about all of this. So please come out, join us. We'd love to see you. If you can't make it out, if you want to just donate, if you want to just spread the word, we have some, ourselves, Alzheimer's Association, have posts on social media that you can share to get the word out, let others know about the fundraising that's being done and the awareness campaigns. I've saved all of these links for the things we've talked about, for the 10 ways to love your brain, the 10 early signs, and a couple of other things. And we'll have those all in this story that you'll be able to find on our website. Just look for the Walk to End Alzheimer's or Alzheimer's Caregivers Awareness Month. Is that
Correct.
Yeah.
That is
And
correct.
so you'll be able to find that there. So thank you so much, Madison, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
see ya.